Discerning and recognizing the more carnal, fleshly side of oneself may be more difficult than we imagine. Hi, this is Spirit Phillips with 10-minute toward day 3 of Toldot, Generations. Let's go back one more time to Genesis, Bereshit, chapter 25. Today we start reading with verse 29, which says, "And Yaakov cooked a stew, and Esau came in from the field, and he was weary. Esau said to Yaakov, 'Please feed me with that same red stew, for I am weary.' This is why his name was called Edom. Yaakov said, 'Sell me your birthright today.' Esau said, 'Look, I am going to die, so why should I have birthright?' Then Yaakov said, 'Swear to me today.' And he swore to him and sold his birthright to Yaakov. Yaakov then gave Esau bread and stew of lentils, and he ate and drank and rose up and left. Thus Esau despised his birthright." Now, when the flesh is in charge, when you are dealing with the cravings, the yearnings, the desperations of whatever flesh is presenting to you, spiritual matters really have small consequences to you. In this case, he has come in and he's famished. We might use the phrase, "I'm starving to death." Well, I doubt anyone in the sound of my voice today has ever genuinely been starving to death. We get really, really hungry, but we're not starving. However, in his estimation, if he didn't get something to eat, he was going to die. Now, is that true? Probably not. But he despised the birthright. Now, there is a rabbinical take on this is very interesting, and that is that the type of stew that was being made, this red lentil stew, is a mourner's dish. If you imagine the timeline correctly here, it could be that the one who has died is Abraham. This may be an occasion where Yaakov has prepared a lentil stew in mourning for his grandfather or their grandfather. If this is indeed the scene, then for Esau to come in and not be aware of what's going on it would accentuate the gravity of what he's done. Knowing then that covenant passes from one generation to the next, he is suddenly so focused on what the body and the flesh is craving and desiring that he's oblivious to the fact that the covenant will eventually come down to a choice of either he or Yaakov, or maybe he thought birthright really has nothing to do with it. I'm daddy's favorite, and that's just the way it is. Which leads us then to a very important conclusion, which I'll share in just a moment. But first, little tease there. Yeshua revealed to us what Esau's genuine nature of flesh and its flesh-driven focus would look like, and a few instances of parables that he taught. One, he told us about those who build their house either on the sand or on the rock. Those who choose to build their house on the sand are more inclined with an Esau nature in that they're looking for immediacy of structure. They're not willing to dig down till they find the rock that is firm. They're not thinking in long-term strategies. They're thinking about what's immediate. It's the proverbial get-rich-quick ideology. I don't want to work for it. I don't want to save for it. I just want to get it and get it now. And I'll pay whatever quick price is necessary to get the big lump sum that I'm looking for. And that may be money, that may be a lot of different things. It could be a long list. So if we are building our house on the sand, looking for quick fix, immediacy, ease of accomplishment, recognize that just like those who plan long term and dig deep and are calculating and observing and hardworking, the same storm is going to come to us all. The question is that when the storm comes, are you properly built for it? Esau is not. Then Yeshua also taught us about the man who had a windfall crop. He was so focused on the excess of his fortune and received favor and a bumper crop that he tore down all that he already had for storage and just built bigger. Yeshua's conclusion was, you fool, your soul tonight is going to be required of you. In other words, you're not going to live to see the benefit of all that you're trying to accomplish. The Torah would teach us that when we have such excess, that we are to find then those who are poor and needy and those who are looking for support and encouragement, and that we are to share with that which is our benefit. Even if our benefit is small, saving a portion for somebody else is important. We don't overly glean, we don't overly reap, but we save something for the next generation or for someone around us. So the Esau nature says, get your own. I work for this. This is mine. You go get yours. And it can be seen then as a positive thing. More on that in a moment. Yeshua also warned us about the Pharisaical approach to praying in public, with praying loud and long prayers so that you would gain applause and recognition, acknowledgement from men instead of from Yah. It's spiritual activity. But what is the impetus? What is the motivation of such activity? And then he also warned about being impressed by ceremonial robes and large offerings, achieving the chief seats at the feast days, and promoting religious traditions of men in spite of the word of Elohim. In certain circles, those things would be acknowledged as preferable and agreeable and marks of great accomplishment. How does Yah look at it? Esau is looking to walk in firstborn status without walking in firstborn responsibility. All of this brings us then to a very important point. And finally we get there. You can walk in spiritualized flesh. It's still walking in the flesh, but it is wrapped in spiritualized terms and presentations. And one doing that can then just simply call it, well, it's my anointing, or it's my calling, or I'm just telling you the truth, brother. This is flesh. It presents itself as spirit, the twin, but it's not. So when we build our house on the sand, we can say, see the favor of the Most High and helping me to build quickly. And look at the grandeur of this structure. Obviously, Yah is in it because look what it's got. And so we see the carpet and the stained glass, and we see all of the appointments, and we look at someone's life and say, they're really blessed and they got it on, until the storms come and prove its integrity. Then there are those who say, I've got a bumper crop. I must be doing that which is right. I have received this as an act of my sowing and my faith. And Yah says, you've neglected the weightier matters of the Torah. And tonight your soul will be required of you. You won't live to enjoy what you claim that I gave you. Those who pray loud and long and gain the acceptance of men, it's in the context of praying, spiritual work. But Yah knows who you're trying to impress. And if we're walking in approving circles of men, they may call us holy and set apart. All the while we're walking in spiritualized flesh, and Yah would be rejecting. More tomorrow. Until then, shalom.